Imagine standing on a wooden trapdoor, a rope around your neck, a hood over your face. The executioner pulls the lever, and nothing happens. You're still alive. Now imagine that happening to you 3 times in a row. This is the true story of John Lee, the man they could not hang. It's November 1884, in a quiet seaside village in Devon, England. An old widow named Emma Kesey is found dead in her home. Her throat is cut, her head is beaten, and someone has tried to set her body on fire. The village is in shock. Murders like this just don't happen here. Suspicion falls on one man almost immediately. John Lee, a 20-year-old servant who worked in the house. He was the only adult male there that night. He had a fresh, unexplained cut on his arm. And he had a motive. Kesey had recently cut his wages. To the police, the case looked closed. But here's the problem. There was no direct evidence, no witness, no murder weapon tied to him. Just suspicion and bad luck. Lee swore he was innocent, and he never stopped swearing it. Yet the jury didn't care. In 1885, John Lee was sentenced to death by hanging. What's chilling is how calm Lee was. While other condemned men wept and begged, Lee was eerily peaceful. When the judge asked why, Lee gave an answer that would haunt everyone who heard it. He said he trusted that the Lord would not let him die. Everyone thought he was mad. February 23, 1885, Exeter Prison. The executioner, James Berry, was one of the most experienced hangmen in England. He tested the trapdoor that morning. It worked perfectly. The mechanism was flawless. There was no reason to expect anything but a quick, clean death. Lee is led onto the scaffold. The noose is placed around his neck. The hood goes over his head. Berry pulls the lever, and the trapdoor doesn't open. It just stays shut. Lee stands there, alive, in total silence. The crowd of officials freezes in horror. They pull Lee off the platform. Berry inspects the machinery. He stomps on the trapdoor. It springs open instantly, perfectly. Nothing is wrong with it. So they reset it and bring Lee back to stand on the very same spot. The noose goes back on. The lever is pulled again. And again, nothing. The trapdoor refuses to open beneath Lee's feet. Yet moments before, it had worked flawlessly without him on it. The executioner is now visibly shaking. They take Lee off again. This time, they don't just test it. They take an axe and a saw to the trapdoor, shaving down the edges so it cannot possibly stick. They test it over and over. It drops every single time. They are certain. This time, John Lee will die. For the 3rd time, Lee climbs the scaffold. For the 3rd time, the noose tightens. For the 3rd time, the lever is pulled. And for the 3rd time, the trapdoor stays sealed shut. 3 attempts. 3 failures. 1 living man standing on a gallows that would not kill him. The prison officials refused to continue. It was too much. The British Home Secretary himself stepped in, saying it would shock the feelings of any decent person to make a man suffer the agony of imminent death again and again. Lee's sentence was commuted to life in prison. So what actually happened? Skeptics say it was simple physics. Lee's body weight may have jammed the iron catch, warping the trapdoor just enough to stick each time he stood on it. But no one could ever fully explain why it failed 3 times, only ever when Lee was on it. To the public, there was only one explanation: divine intervention. God himself had refused to let an innocent man die. John Lee became a celebrity overnight. The man they could not hang. He served 22 years and walked free in 1907. But here's the uncomfortable part. After his release, Lee didn't exactly behave like an innocent saint. He abandoned his pregnant wife, ran off to America with another woman, and spent years profiting off his story. Whether he killed Emma Kesey, we will never truly know. John Lee died in 1945, peacefully, in bed, an old man. The only person in English history to survive 3 hanging attempts. Guilty or innocent, the gallows simply refused to take him. So, was it a broken machine? Or was it something no one could explain? You decide. This has been History Autopsy. If this story gave you chills, you know what to do.